There's a specific quality of light that comes through a perfectly clean window. It doesn't add anything, it doesn't take anything away. It simply allows what is on the other side to be seen with a startling, gentle clarity. Love in its purest and most spacious form feels like that. It's not the dramatic tint of rose colored glass, nor the harsh glare of a spotlight searching for flaws. It is perhaps the cleanest mirror we will ever encounter. It has the capacity to show us our own beauty without the distortion of flattery, and our own flaws without the sting of judgment. It simply reflects what is, and in that clear reflection, something profound within us has the space to recognize itself. So much of what we call love in the world is conditional. It is a transaction of affection for certain behaviors, a bond that can feel contingent on being a certain way. That kind of love holds a mirror, but it's a mirror that only shows the parts of us we believe are acceptable. It reflects back the curated self. But unconditional love, or the movement toward it, is different. It's a mirror that doesn't flinch. It continues to hold us in its gaze even when we are angry, fearful, petty, or lost. This is where the true revelation happens. In the safety of that unwavering regard, parts of ourselves we have hidden, even from ourselves, begin to feel permission to step into the light. The intimacy of a deep relationship becomes less about merging with another and more about being fully seen by another. And in that seeing ourselves more wholly, this experience can be both beautiful and terrifying. To be loved, not for our potential, not for our best moments alone, but for our entire messy human spectrum. That kind of love acts as a polisher. Each moment of being met with acceptance, especially when we feel at our least acceptable, gently wears away that grime of shame and self-rejection that has clouded our own self-perception. We look into the eyes of someone who loves us, and gradually we start to see in our own reflection what they see. Not a perfect being, but a worthy being. A being whose flaws are part of a human landscape, not marks of eternal damnation. This is the alchemy, the unconditional regard of another. When we can let in, becomes the soft cloth that cleanses our own internal mirror. This idea finds deep roots in spiritual psychology. Carl Rogers, a foundational figure, spoke of unconditional positive regard as the core condition for growth. He posited that when a person is accepted and prized without judgment, they are freed to explore all aspects of themselves, integrate their experiences, and move toward becoming a more fully functioning person. In this light, love is the ultimate therapeutic environment. It's the safe container where the shadow can be acknowledged without being exiled, where the wounded parts can be witnessed without being shamed. It's a reflection that says, all of this belongs. The enlightened masters of old often pointed to this reflective quality of divine or universal love. In many traditions, the ultimate reality, God, Source, the divine, is described not as judging monarch, but as a perfect mirror of pure consciousness. It is love itself, and that love reflects creation perfectly, without distortion. To align with that love, then, is to polish the mind mirror to such a degree that it reflects the same flawless, accepting clarity. The masters planted this seed in metaphors of light, of clear water, of a spotless mirror, knowing we would first seek it in human relationships, and perhaps later recognize it as the nature of awareness itself. This reframes our search for love. It becomes less about finding someone who makes us feel good all the time, and more about finding and becoming a space of clear reflection. It's about cultivating the capacity to hold that clear mirror of ourselves and for others. When we can look at our own anger, our own fear, our own need with the same unconditional regard we might offer a beloved friend, we are practicing self-love as mirror work. We are becoming our own source of that clarifying light. In our relationship, this changes everything. An argument is no longer just a conflict. It's two mirrors clouded by fear, yearning to be cleaned by a return to that baseline of unconditional regard. A moment of connection is a moment where both mirrors are clear, and each person sees themselves and the other in a luminous, truthful light. Love, then, is not just a feeling that comes and goes. It's a quality of attention. It is a commitment to keep polishing the glass, to keep returning to that clear, non-judgmental reflection, especially when the storms of emotion and ego want to fog it over. To be loved like this is a gift. To love like this is a practice. It asks us to put down the censor's pen and pick up the polisher's cloth. It invites us to see the other not as someone who exists to meet our needs, but as a sacred mirror showing us the depth of our own capacity for acceptance. And when we can meet our own reflection in the quiet moments, the beauty and the flaws alike, with that same clean, clear, loving light, we realize the ultimate truth. The clearest mirror was never outside of us. It is the very nature of a heart that has learned to see without condition.